Greetings. Welcome to the first Women's Clean Energy Wednesday, brought to you by the Clean Energy Ministerial's Gender Diversity event, and that is C3E. C3E stands for Clean Energy Education and Empowerment. It's a very active international program as part of the Clean Energy Ministerial. And I want to welcome you to this great event today. This is sponsored by our Ambassadors Program. The International Ambassadors Program represents 9 different countries that are part of the Clean Energy Ministerial C3E effort. And there are anywhere from 3 to 5 ambassadors from all of the different countries. So today you'll get to meet some of them. They are available to you if you'd like to connect as a mentor. And without further ado, we'd like to hear from one of the ambassadors that is an ambassador from the United States of America. This is Senator Lisa Murkowski. She is the highest ranking woman in energy policy in the United States. So to Senator Murkowski, thank you for your comments. They are pre-recorded, and she wants to send this message to all of you.
Hello, I'm Lisa Murkowski. I'm the U.S. Senator for the great state of Alaska, and I'm also chairman of the Energy and Natural Resources Committee. I appreciate the focus that C3E is placing on Rwanda today. While my Arctic state is seemingly a different world than this African nation, I believe that there's much that we can learn from one another. Many of the native people in Alaska live in villages that are powered by high-cost diesel generation. Energy vulnerability is still very much a reality for us. I also recognize that too many in Africa still lack reliable access to electricity, which has a major impact on everything from quality of life to life expectancy. I look forward to learning more about how Rwanda is meeting its energy needs, how clean energy can help lead to a brighter future, and what women in energy can do to lead the way. So thanks again to all who are participating today.
Stop me if it's going, but we'll go ahead and move forward. I have the distinct pleasure to introduce to you the next person who will be handling and the lead for C3E on behalf of the United States. Dr. Rita Berenwald is my former boss. She is the Assistant Secretary at the U.S. Department of Energy's Office of Nuclear Energy. Rita is an extremely well-respected leader in the field of nuclear energy. She has worked extensively at the lab level and in private industry, and she will bring great passion, leadership, and insight to this role of the lead for the ambassador program. But before you get to meet Rita, we will introduce to you another of our ambassadors, Maria Hilda Rivera. She is the energy advisor for Power Africa, and she also acts as a mentor as part of the program for C3E and within Power Africa. She joined Power Africa in 2014 to launch its distributed energy initiative. At Power Africa, she covers country portfolios in East Africa and leads efforts in financing for distributed energy. Please welcome Maria Hilda Rivera. Maria, make sure that you're not muted.
There we go. Thank you, Susie, and thank you for the C3E organizers. It's great to participate here and also join the WIRE, the team members from the WIRE program. As Susie said, I'm an advisor for Power Africa. I've been working on clean energy my entire career, of which the last 12 had been in sub-Saharan Africa. Recently, I've been working with Claire in the Rwanda portfolio, so I'm very familiar with it, and I'm excited that you guys get to hear more about the energy work in country. The energy sector is super dynamic, super exciting, and it's very fast-paced. Unfortunately, it doesn't always, female participation is not always what it should be. It's not always moving as fast enough as the sector does. And so I'm happy to share my experiences and speak to any of you. It is an amazing field. and hopefully I get to meet some of you in the future. The organizers will facilitate my email, and once more, thank you to the C3E team. Over to you, Susie.
Thank you so much, Maria. And Maria is one of several ambassador or mentors who are available to you through this network. Next, we're going to hear a video from our ambassador team that will introduce to you, again, select ambassadors from around the world and their story on clean energy. I hope you enjoyed that video that gives you a flavor for all the very talented and very highly professional women that are part of the C3E initiative who are available to you as a network in broadening your career and broadening your opportunities. Next, we will hear from a little bit of background. I recently left my post at the US Department of Energy to work in Vienna, Austria at the International Atomic Energy Agency, which is an agency of the UN that is dedicated to the peaceful uses of nuclear technology and nuclear energy. Prior to that, I worked with Dr. Rita Berenwald and had the distinct pleasure to work with her in the Office of Nuclear Energy. Dr. Berenwald is the Assistant Secretary for Nuclear Energy and, by the way, the first female to hold that post. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming the highly esteemed Dr. Rita Berenwald, who will be the next lead for the Ambassador and Mentor Program on behalf of the US Department of Energy. Hi, Rita.
Hi, Susie. It's so nice to see you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Great, thank you. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to our attendees from around the world. As Susie said, I am Rita Berenwald, the Assistant Secretary for Nuclear Energy here at the U.S. Department of Energy. And I'm very humbled to be the new U.S. lead for C3E International. Thank you very much to Susie for revitalizing this incredibly important program, and thank you to Chair Annette Hollis for your continued guidance and support. I'm so delighted that the U.S. is leading the C3E International's Ambassador and Mentorship Program workstream alongside Austria, Canada, Finland, and Sweden, and with the incredible cohort of clean energy ambassadors from all around the world. My clean energy journey began almost through happenstance. I did not have my sights set on being in the nuclear energy business, but my first job after I had received my PhD was with an organization here in the United States that develops, maintains, and oversees the nuclear reactors for the Navy here in the United States. And once I realized the energy density that nuclear fuel can provide to aircraft carriers and submarines to help protect our country, and the energy density that it provides to commercial power plants to provide clean energy to millions of people, I realized that this is where I need to be. And now that we fast forward to today, I have 2 teenage children, and to me, it's very, very important that they inherit a world that has as much clean air as possible. And I know that nuclear energy can be part of that solution. I'm so glad to see the Ambassadors Program highlight Rwanda here today. There are a few places in the world where women play such a key leadership role in ensuring energy challenges are not only met, but exceeded as we move towards a clean energy future. Working to ensure a clean energy future with women participating and leading at all levels is a top priority for C3E International and the United States. I'd now like to introduce Claire Nelson, who will be moderating our panel session. Claire is the Power Africa lead at USA in Kigali, Rwanda, a position she has held for 4 years. Claire has over 10 years of experience working in the clean energy sector around the world. Before coming to Rwanda, she worked in Germany, the UK, and China for private sector companies, nonprofits, and government institutions. She has a master's degree in environmental policy and regulation from the London School of Economics and Political Science, and believes that women from all backgrounds, not just engineering, have an important role to play in the development of the global clean energy sector. Claire?
Thank you so much, Dr. Berenwald, and thank you to Susie and the whole C3E International team. And a special shout out to Anusha Ramaswamy and Kamaira Coney for helping to organize this webinar and for all the great work you do to promote clean energy, women in clean energy. So as Dr. Berenwald said, my name is Claire Nelson. I'm the Rwandan Power Africa lead for USAID here in Kigali. Power Africa, which is one of the co-sponsors of this webinar, is a US government-led partnership that brings together the collective resources of over 170 public and private sector partners to double access to electricity in sub-Saharan Africa. Power Africa's goal is to add more than 30,000 megawatts of new electricity generation capacity and to connect 60 million new homes and businesses to power by 2030. Here in Rwanda, the government has set an ambitious target to reach universal energy access by 2024, up from about 56% now. This target includes roughly 50%, which should come from off-grid renewable energy sources, such as solar home systems and hydro mini-grids. Power Africa is working with the government, the utility, other donors, investors, and the private sector to achieve this goal through technical assistance, capacity building, strategic partnerships, and targeted funding support. Power Africa also works to bring more women into the energy sector in Rwanda. Last year, I sat down to brainstorm and strategize with our key partners about what we could do to advance gender equality here. These conversations resulted in the creation of WIRE, the Women in Rwandan Energy Initiative, which is implemented by Power Africa and funded by the White House's Women's Global Development and Prosperity Initiative. Today, WIRE is running a number of activities, including gender mainstreaming for companies that want to recruit more women and support them in their career progressions, apprenticeships for recent female STEM graduates, and establishing an independent NGO for women in the energy sector called Power Her, which will provide mentoring, networking, role models, and outreach to schools. We believe that this classroom to boardroom approach will help Rwanda become one of the first countries in Africa and possibly the world to achieve gender equality in the energy sector. But this would be a completely unattainable goal were it not for the strong women in the sector that are passionate about both clean energy and women's empowerment. So I'm really excited and honored to be introducing you to three incredible women who are at the forefront of this movement. They come from different academic backgrounds and they work in very different parts of the sector, but they have in common an understanding of the goal for more women in energy and are working on this goal every day. So it's my absolute pleasure to announce that our first presenter will be Patricie Uwase. Patricie is the permanent secretary at the Ministry of Infrastructure, which oversees the energy sector here in Rwanda. She was appointed in 2018, and she's also the vice chairperson of the board of directors of Rwandair, Rwanda's national flag carrier. She graduated from UC Berkeley with a master's degree in civil and environmental engineering and has been a great advocate for WIRE and our work since we started a little over a year ago. I want to remind everybody to, when you have a question, share it in the chat box, and we will send those questions to the panelists and make sure that we all get back to you with answers. But for now, it's my great pleasure to hand it over to Patricie. Over to you.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you, everyone. Hello to the attendees to this meeting. It's a pleasure for me to be here today for this webinar organized by C3E International. We really would like to thank you for doing this spotlight on Rwanda. We believe we deserve it because, like Claire said, we are at the forefront of really driving energy change in the country. And of course, there's also many other partners we have, many male partners doing a lot of good work. But the women who will speak after me really deserve a lot of credit. And it's a pleasure to really share this, this panel with them. I was asked to talk to you about the current status of Rwanda's energy sector with a focus on renewable energy. And just to give you a picture, Rwanda is the size of Massachusetts in the US. And so we are very small in size. However, we've got very ambitious goals. And one of the strategies we're currently implementing is the National Strategy for Transformation, where the government of Rwanda plans to provide universal access to electricity to all households by 2024. We're just about 4 years to the target. And a lot of work has been put in already to ensure that we've got enough electricity sources, generation, as well as laying the transmission network that's needed for that to happen. So just again, to give you a snapshot of our energy mix, we've got about 55% made of renewable energy, and non-renewable takes the other share, 45%. Of the renewable, or rather the other sources in general, we've got different types, and hydro takes about 41.4% of the energy mix. We've got other energy sources, and we are actually currently also exploring using nuclear energy for peaceful purposes, such as supplying electricity to our households in Rwanda. The other sources include solar, that's about 5.3%. We've got peat to power, not so clean, but we're currently working on actually different plants, and that's about 6%. We have methane. We've got actually the world's first methane to power plant here in Rwanda that produces about 26 megawatts. We've got a few other sources, and like I said, we're exploring using nuclear for the same purpose. Currently, energy access stands at 56%, so we've got a lot of work to do to ensure we reach 100% by 2024. And the 41% of that is on-grid connections, with about 15% off-grid sources. All these, usually the off-grid solutions that I'm talking about are made of mostly standalone solar home systems that we install on people's roofs. And one of the panelists will talk about her work helping with the mini grids as well. Like I said, our targets are very clear, and this helps us to stay focused in delivering energy programs for the country. And we believe there's many opportunities in this sector for both the people in Rwanda, but also international partners. Some of those opportunities include, like I said, installation of solar power panels for our households, especially the ones that are very remote. Rwanda is also known to be hilly, so we call ourselves the country of 1,000 hills. So those places cannot be supplied with on-grid power without the support of different partners. Other opportunities include development of mini grids, and we focus mostly on using technologies that are more affordable in order for us to really achieve our targets. We also have other opportunities in clean cooking energies, and our target in this space is to halve biomass consumption by 2024. It's currently at about 79%. So we're looking into really reducing that biomass consumption to about 42% by 2024. Huge opportunity. We believe there's a lot of work that's done, like I said, but women really come at the forefront of making sure that the objectives we've set for ourselves are achieved. And Rwandan women in general have been really at the helm of helping us achieve our targets. As earlier mentioned, most of these opportunities in clean energy, in the clean energy sector, are tapped into by women. Women like the one on the panel, Francine, actually, and Kareen herself. These are exemplary women who are definitely at the forefront of driving our strategy to completion. The Ministry of Infrastructure, where I work, in collaboration of USAID for Africa, have, like was mentioned by Claire, have really supported the creation of the Women in Rwandan Energy, and we believe this is an initiative that's going to really help even more women come into the sector. And we thank C3E International for also really putting the spotlight on Rwanda. We think with this webinar today, we're going to have even more partners coming into the space, and this is also going to show other women who have not joined us yet that actually this is exciting and there's more work to be done by the different women. So I'll stop there. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them later on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Patricie. It's great to hear your comments, and I just want to say to everybody how inspiring Patricie is as our permanent secretary, and she's just so supportive of what we're doing to bring more women into the sector. So really appreciate your comments and for being here today. But now I'm really delighted to introduce you to Francine Munyaneza. Francine is the founder and CEO of MunyaxEco, a company that provides a range of off-grid solar products and mini grids. Prior to moving back to Rwanda, her home country, Francine spent 20 years working internationally, including 11 years at ICRC managing projects. Francine has a master's degree in business administration and finance from Leuven University in Belgium. And I'm proud to say that Francine has been involved with WIRE from day one and is one of our greatest advocates. So with that, Francine, over to you. Sorry, Francine, I think you're on mute.
Do you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
Sorry, excuse me, I forgot. Yeah, so I was saying that I was thanking you, Claire, to have introduced me, and I thank you also, Patricia, who has mentioned our work as MunyaxEco, a company in solar energy. And, you know, it has been a long challenge, a long journey for creating this company in solar energy. As you mentioned, Claire, I was working in another world, in another sector, totally different. And I came back to Rwanda to create this company, which has the mission to give access to clean and affordable energy to our people. Saying that, when creating this company, we have different kind of work. We install solar water heaters. We install photovoltaic system for rural areas, non-rural areas, and also we install other kind of system, solar street light, mini grids. Also, we have started also mini grids, and we will talk more about that a little bit later. this kind of activity has made us reach around 10,000 people up to now. And thanks to that, because of that, we are managing now to go further and quicker. And we managed to sign now MOUs with the Ministry of Infrastructure. Patricia mentioned it before. We signed an MOU in solar water heaters few years ago. Last week, we signed an MOU for mini-grids. So we have many sites now for feasibility study. We are in process also of signing MOU for solar home system. This is really in order to give access again to clean and affordable energy. Saying that, I'm a woman, as you have noticed, and we are all women. And what about the challenges that we face as a woman? For me, I can say that we face two kinds of challenges. Myself as a woman entrepreneur, it has been, as I said, a long journey to get credibility, to be also a minority among the world's dominated world of men, and also to be able to access finance. There is this general challenge that we have as an entrepreneur and as a woman. But more than that, we rapidly noticed that, and you know all of you, that energy is a male-dominated world. We are in Rwanda, 5% only women working in energy. This is linked to the fact that, as usual in all the world, it was a work which was considered for men, engineers, technicians. There was also not so much also maybe educated people, but we have more and more educated people, more and more people who are engineers or other kind of background, which are very interesting for the sector, because it's not only engineers that we are looking for. We are looking also for salespeople, marketing, finance, administration, all kind of things. So it's still a challenge to find these people because of the perception of the sector, because also of the prejudice we are facing like women, because also of ourselves also sometimes not being enough confident also, because of the long story of women, the long challenge of women in a dominated men world. We talk also, of course, about unconscious bias. This is there. And also the fact also that we are still not equal in terms of maternity leaves when a woman needs to be hired. If she is young, people are most of the time afraid to hire her because it is perceived as costing more than the others, taking holidays, 3-month maternity leaves. So there are all these challenges that we are facing. But when we are facing the challenges, even as at our own level, as an enterprise, as a SME, we try, as a woman also, we try to find solutions for these challenges. And we put in place, despite the fact that we are very busy, when you create your company, you are very busy in all types of challenges, as I mentioned, linked to the fact that we are a woman entrepreneur, but still we could not see ourselves not being solidar with the others, not being, not sensitizing people to the how do you call that, to the fact that there is no woman. So we organized internship specifically targeting women. We organized them. We organized mentoring, and I mentioned that inside our company, MunyaxEco. We organized also cooperation with schools targeting women, with colleges. We organize with university, targeting women, organizing internship, because most of the time they don't have the possibility to really practice what they are learning. We also put an emphasizing when we are recruiting, we put an emphasizing on recruiting women, on recruiting, or making positive discrimination, but more than positive discrimination, to recruit women, even if they don't have the experience, to add training to the lack of experience. So we might favor women instead of men, even if they have less experience than men. That's what we do with our company. Within the team also, we try to make women more confident as a role model and as other role models. But we don't target only women. We try also to sensitize men and to really to teach them about positive masculinity. We also, this is inside company, but also outside the company, we try also with other entrepreneurs. They are not so many in solar energy, but we try together to see how we can profit from each other's experience and see how we can make projects together. And this is very challenging, but still on process. Saying that, we were challenged also by Go Africa, Claire, as she mentioned, and she mentioned that, oh, we might be interested to have a kind of organization targeting and women. What ideas would you have to do that, to make that woman come more in the sector, that they are more confident. So we had a lot of brainstorming with Claire, with other partners, and we came to the reflection that we can extend also what we are doing in MunyaxEco, and to extend internship to other companies, to have a kind of possibility of financing, and Claire mentioned the financing of USAID Power Africa for this woman wire in renewable energy. And together, when we are together, we can do more than when we are alone. I was alone, I was feeling alone, and I was really happy to see that with Claire and with others, with Patricia and with Kareem, because she's also proud, she's a member of this wire. We can brainstorm and we can come with ideas, we can speed up the participation of women in energy. So more than just doing internship, we do also leadership training for entrepreneurs to know how they can create their company. So it's really, we have extended to really have a good program which can really help us. And it helps. We have started, for us, we have like 4 interns. I know that other company has also other interns. And it's really challenging and very exciting to see how with these interns we can go further, and in the latter stage either they get a job with us or they get a job with another company because they have already experience. So with that, I think I will give the floor to the others and to explain to you also what they are doing for this kind of promoting the woman and the gender in Rwanda. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you so much, Francine. You're such an inspiration, and you're involved in all of the activities that we do with WIRE, including the apprenticeship program, which is just, it's so wonderful to see how much progress we're making together. So thank you. And now, last but not least, I'd like to introduce everybody to Carine Mukashyaka. Carine is the Chief Operating Officer of EPC Africa, a Rwandan company that specializes in the management of and investment in power generation infrastructure, power transmission and distribution, and business and engineering consultancy services. Prior to EPC, she worked as head of projects and investment planning at the Rwandan electricity utility. She holds a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering and a master's degree in business administration. Kareen, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Claire. My presentation, please. Okay, thank you. I'm Carine Mukashyaka, as Claire mentioned. I'm the Chief Operating Officer in EPC Africa Group. Next slide. EPC Africa Group is like an engineering, procurement, and construction company. We have so many affiliated companies. Next slide, please. Actually, we have a vision of being a prosperous and self-sustained African community. So we have affiliated companies, is Energy Hotel, Afirot, and CEC, Central Engineering Contractors. Next slide, please. At Energycotel, we are a power generation company. We are an independent power producer. We own our hydropower plants in Rwanda. We have 3 of them. And soon we are developing some also hydropower project and solar, hydro in Kenya, and the solar project in Zimbabwe. So with Rwanda Energy Company, we also created Magma. Magma is for the exploitation of methane gas in the Lake Kivu. Next slide, please. Now, this is our other affiliated company, Afirot. Afirot is a supply chain management, deals with logistic trading and ICT. So now, under the sub-consultant of ICO, we're supervising our biggest hydropower plant, 80 megawatt, shared between Rwanda, Burundi, and Tanzania, and financed by World Bank and African Development Bank. And we supply different equipment and tools to different institutions in Rwanda. Next slide, please. Now we have Central Engineering Contractors, known as CEC, is the engineering electromechanical contractor. We do power transmission, power distribution, construction, marine infrastructure. If you see some of our photos, those are some of our works we completed. We are proud to have been the first company that has been doing a 220 kV transmission line. And now we are also doing the port, the first port project in Rwanda, Rubavu and Rusizi ports. Next slide, please. Okay, just being short, maybe let me link myself with EPC Africa Group. Actually, I started in EPC Africa Group in 2016, December. I joined as Director of Project Implementation. It was the stage where we're developing the hydropower plants. And then we constructed them. And after achieving the commercial operation date, I've been promoted as the Managing Director of this company. And then later, after 1 year, I've been promoted as Chief Investment and Business. And now here I am, I'm the Chief Operation Officer. So I had an opportunity to be involved in energy project from the initial stage up to the closure stage. It's a very learning experience and very challenging, but it's a good opportunity also as an electrical engineer and also project manager by profession. So I had enough skills to combine the engineering and the management skills. With the experience as a female in energy sector, of course, as a woman, we are not many as all the previous mentioned, but it started at school. And secondly, also I studied science, and when you study science, also you are not women are very few, men are dominating that sector. And you go in also in engineering domain, it's already dominated by men, and then energy also in Rwanda is also dominated by men. But I think it's a best opportunity. It's even a challenging experience. Actually, what make me laugh some of the time is when you do it well as a woman, they say, you have the character of a man. So in the society, only men can do better. So when you are women doing better, you are a man. So, but anyway, before I was humiliated, but I'm trying to be used so that I understand this is the society, but with time we prove otherwise. And also I can also the other thing that need for women need to that help to grow. I think we need to start at home. To be able to increase the number of women in all the sectors. By the way, energy, of course, it's a sector, but also engineers, they are good. But what I believe is that everyone is wired to fit in any sector, provided that you perform well. Being an engineer, a finance, a doctor, in either domain as a woman, what we need is to be able to prove that we can do better and be able to excel. So what we need normally is to start by educating our kids. It starts by a home, and also that's we remove the limitation, but also encouraging people to study science if they fit, and also be able to also be open to to face the challenge. As a woman, it's not that easy. It's not as easy as Francine was saying. There's maternity. You have to give birth. You have to take care of the family. You have to take care of the husband. You have to take care of the society, and the work needs you. So you need to have a balance between professional and personal life. And for sure, I believe we can. Why? Women, as we are wired, we are good listeners. We are good communicators. We are multitasking. So this already the initial skills that God put it in us to be able to excel in whatever we are doing. And those qualities as women are natural and can help us to perform well. So so for me, don't quote me if I'm wrong, but I believe we can, women, we are able to be in leadership position, to be in engineering position, to be everywhere by merit, not by favor. Because when you start a favor, it's killing even yourself. But I believe in merit. I believe that gender shouldn't be like a limitation or a factor to assess a person's capability to do a work. But it depends on yourself. It depends on your commitment. It depends on your personality as women. And I believe in women. I love women. And I think if we put our confidence, if we continue to avoid the limitation and remove them, we can do better. So, but I think I still have, I think I'm done with the time. Thank you, everyone. I don't want to speak, when I speak women and their commitment, I'm very emotionally passionate so that I can speak the whole day. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
We are all passionate, I think. When we speak about women, we are all passionate.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Kareen. You've said it so well. I think so much of the work starts at home, and you know, we need to believe that we can do it from the beginning, and to not let any kind of social norms or stereotypes stop us, and prove that we actually can do every single job the same as men. So thank you so much for that. None of you are done talking yet, because now we're going to switch to Q&A. And for that, I'm going to hand it over to our colleague Rita Rivera to take us through this session, and hopefully we could talk about some more interesting issues in the next few minutes. So Loreto is a current C3E International ambassador and a journalist with over 12 years in the energy industry in generation, distribution, and transmission companies. Currently, Loreto is stakeholders manager at RWE Renewable Chile. The company is one of the largest renewable energy companies worldwide. Prior to that, she was corporate affairs manager of the largest distribution company in Chile, CGE, and before that served in a similar role for Pacific Hydro. So without further ado, Loreto, over to you.
Thank you so much, Claire, and hello, everyone, and greetings from Chile. It is a real honor for me to be participating in this seminar and have the opportunity to listen to your great experiences, ladies. It's really amazing to hear from you what you're doing, and also to be representing here in this webinar the Chilean women who work in this amazing sector, and the other 4 Chilean ambassadors that are part of the C3E International program. So I would like to say that despite we can feel that maybe Rwanda's experience is a faraway one, because you know we are so far away from you in Chile, but I think that we have similar challenges regarding to energy transition and to the role that the women have in it. So it's great to hear from you what you have been doing, so we can do similar things here in Chile as well. So I would like to start asking you, Patricie, what inspired you to choose to pursue a career in a sector that is so dominated by men, Francine said it was 5% only women. So what inspired you? We can hear you. We can hear you, Francine. Patricie.
Sure. Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Sure. So thank you very much for that question, Loreto. I think indeed there has to be a starting point for a woman to be an engineer like myself, or to be in the career that I've just described. And for me, it starts with a talk in my high school when this woman civil engineer came to my high school and spoke to us about her work. At the time, she was the only engineer at the City of Kigali Council. And when she spoke about what she was doing, I thought it was really interesting work, and I couldn't believe there were not other women doing it. And so I decided early on that I wanted to pursue my education in engineering, and so I ended up as a transportation engineer. Then throughout, I guess, that journey, that educational journey, I also learned about the absence of women on really almost all fronts, right? From the projects themselves, but also in leadership positions when it comes to technical fields. And so when I was invited to join the Ministry of Infrastructure 5 years ago, I grabbed the opportunity very quickly, because I thought then I was in a position to really effect change, across the board. My interest had always been in transportation, but now I'm able to work on even more other fields like energy, water and sanitation, as well as housing and human settlements. And so really this helped me to now broaden my reach and my dream, I guess.
That's great. Thank you very much for that answer. And it was a talk. So what about you, Francine? What was your case? What inspired you?
What has inspired me? It's first of all, for me, that's my personal experience, is that I never thought, since I was born, maybe because of I have a mother who was teachers who show us how to be how a woman can do whatever she wants. So I never thought about I'm a woman, I'm in a world of men. I thought about it later when I realized that I was a minority. So when I started in energy, I was not conscious about that. I became rapidly conscious when I was alone within other men. So, and also it's the passion. I was passionate about solar energy, passionate also the fact that we don't have energy in our countries in Africa, and we have a lot of sun. So let's work and do something about that, because energy is so essential. It's changed the life of people, and it can change not only the life of people, but the life of women if we really target them and we promote them in this sector. And we are doing that, by the way, thanks to what we are doing. We are, in my company, we are 50% women. So you see, if we have the will to do that, we can do it. Yeah.
That's right. I don't know who mentioned that. If you're alone, it's difficult, but if we are all together, we can do it better, right? And yeah. What was your case, Kareen? You mentioned something in your presentation, but what inspired you to be to work in this sector so dominated by men?
Actually, the first motivation was my parents. My parents was pushing me, Kareen, you are strong, you are capable. And I have never felt that because I'm a woman, I have a difference between women and men. Actually, to be honest, in my life, I've never faced that difference in me, in my internal, because of how I was educated. And of course, I pursued what I liked. I like to do something that has impact, that contribute. You see, we are doing the power distribution lines. When you connect the household and when you connect the people, the health center, you see people how happy they are. it's really it's emotional. It's like, wow, I've done something and I've made this person to move from one thing to the another. They are very happy, they are celebrating, and it's really enough for me and give me my satisfaction. And I'm like, wow, I started well. So the motivation was only from home, and now and when I do things, it's working. I'm like, wow, I can do more, and then I keep moving forward.
That's great. It sounds very funny for me. Something you said before that seems like only men can do better, right? But no, but no. So I would like to continue with you, Kareen, and I would like to ask you about if you can give us an advice or give young women in Africa an advice who are aspiring to become leaders in the energy sector. It's something we always need, not only when we start, but also during our career. So, and these advices are for free, so listen very careful about them. So, would you give girls? Yeah.
A little bit. You mean advice on what?
Advice at young women in Africa who would like to aspire to become to work in the energy sector. An advice for them.
Okay, thanks a lot. Young ladies, even at my home, I always teach my kids, but when you want to work, you can work in the energy sector not being an engineer or being an engineer. So it starts by the school. It starts by what domain you can pursue. For me, I don't dictate people to go do engineering, that's better, or do whatever. I just tell people, do whatever you like. But the most important is to excel in that in what you are doing. And when you want to be to come in energy, for me, the first thing that helped me and that I can advise others is to give your best. Be the best version of yourself, and make sure that whatever you do, you just excel. You just do it very well so that you can create an impact. So don't be lazy. You see, women, we tend to be lazy. We like facilities. I just tell people, don't be lazy.
You have many complaints here. Not lazy. We are not lazy.
the majority. Not, of course, people who are the person who are here, they are not lazy because they made it. But the majority, they like to be lazy. So don't be lazy. Just pursue your dream, work hard, make sure you excel. If you want to be, don't fear to study engineering, science, or whatever you like, but please work what you like and make sure you do it best. You become the best version of yourself. That's what I really encourage people, to become the best version of themselves.
Yeah. And then success comes, right? Being the best part of yourself, success just comes. What about you, Francine?
Yeah, in fact, I don't agree with Karine because we are not lazy. Women are not lazy at all. They are the one who works very hard. I have noticed that. And not only that, maybe sometimes they lack confidence in themselves. So that's why they are not lazy, but they don't dare to do things because they lack confidence. They think that they are not able to do that. So I would advise these young ladies to build their confidence, to think that they have quality. They are women of quality, they are intelligent, all of them. We all have weak points and strong points, but let's focus on our strong point, and we all have strong points. And these strong points are very important to develop. And also we need to remind each of us and each young ladies to be conscious of the unconscious bias. Okay, and I think, Karine, maybe you have an unconscious bias there. So please, women, they are very intelligent, they are very bright, we all have qualities, and we need to work on our quality to be confident and to be conscious that we are the best.
Great, thank you very much. And Patricia, would you like to add an advice? We are all very interested about these advices.
Sure. So when you think of a young African girl,
I think we are having some troubles. Patricia, are you there?
Seems that she's not there anymore.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I think we missed her. Okay, I will continue with Kareen. Patricia, are you there? No, it seems we don't have her. Okay, I will continue with Kareen. Kareen, can you tell us what do you think about Rwanda's experience can teach other countries about gender equality and its importance for the energy sector?
Sorry, could you hear me when I spoke?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, you're back?
Yes, I'm on.
Okay, we can hear you now. We'll go back to you now. Okay, so can you, Patricie, can you tell us your advice, please?
Sure. Sorry about that. I guess it's network issues. I can't see you well. I hope you can see me. And I was just saying that I think, can you hear me?
We can hear you, but we can't see you. But just continue. We can see you now.
Okay. So I was just saying that for a young girl, for me to be able to address them, it's just thinking back 15 years from now to my younger self and just telling them that things work out for people who work hard, and then just telling them to indeed be the best versions of themselves and not have to worry about will things work or is it possible for a woman. I think those questions are things of the past because we are evidence to show, right, that things do work and there are women who can achieve great things, and if we are able to do it, they can do it too.
That's right.
So that's my advice.
Okay. Okay, so now, Francine, do you want to say something? We can hear you.
Important for women for young women also to see women who are successful, to see other association of women, to see other women network, so they can learn from them. They can also push them. The network can push them to be quicker and to speed their career or to speed their confidence. So they really need to network with other organizations, other network like Wire or PowerHer, this new association that we have made. So it's very important all over the world that we really connect with other organizations and not to reinvent the wheel.
That's right. That's right. Okay, thank you very much, ladies, for your answers and for sharing your experiences. Really, we all really value what you have said and your shares. But now I would like to remember all our participants, if you have any questions, just write down on the chat or send it by email. And I would like to say goodbye to all of you. I hope to see you soon. And now over to you, Dr. Berenwald and Claire, for the closing remarks. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.
Thank you, Loretto, for a fantastic panel, and it was very informative and interesting. And I must say, Patrici, Francine, and Kareen, you have re-energized me with your enthusiasm and your passion. I came into the office this morning, I was a little tired, and what I have seen over the past few hour has absolutely re-energized me. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for what you're doing and for sharing your enthusiasm. It really did move me. I also want to thank Claire and her team at Power Africa for all the efforts in making this a successful event. As a quick reminder, please follow C3E International's work and future events on Twitter at C3E_INTL_energy, which will be posted in the chat and included in a follow-up email. And we look forward to hearing your feedback as we continue our work highlighting gender diversity in clean energy professions. Claire, over to you to close us out.
Thank you so much, Dr. Berenwald, and thank you to C3E International for co-hosting again. Also to the Clean Energy Solutions Center at NREL for providing the platform for this webinar. Thanks to Loretto for moderating the Q&A. And most of all, thank you to our 3 speakers from here in Rwanda, who hopefully, I really hope they inspired you as much as they've inspired me over the past few years. I would have done none of this were it not for knowing these women and knowing how amazing they are and the hard work that they do every day. So I also just wanted to take a moment to thank everybody else that joined for your interest in clean energy, women's empowerment in the sector, and also what Rwanda is doing on both of these fronts. I know we have a lot of women from the WIRE network on the line today, so shout out to you ladies and thank you for joining. I really hope, my hope for the webinar today is that it's a start of a strong collaboration between Rwanda and other countries and initiatives around the world working to advance women's empowerment in the sector. I really think we have a lot to learn from each other, and I'm just really delighted that we were able to amplify the voices of some of the women who are leading the way here and who are inspiring the next generation of African women coming into the energy sector. So with that, I would just like to thank everybody again for participating. You can also follow Power Africa on Twitter for more updates, and the handle is @PowerAfricaUS. And send through any questions to me personally at cnelson@usa.gov. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to continuing this discussion. Thank you, everybody.